Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind the scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies, inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
We're in Way Media.
Welcome back to Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, where this season we're taking a look at George Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. Hold on, George A. Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. Sharing the Midnight View with me are the projection booth's Mike White.
You got a last car. That's all the lyrics I've come up with so far.
That'll do it. And the Culture Cast, Chris Stashew.
Abe Vigoda, last time I checked, is in fact dead.
No!
Help me! Help me!
I'm being tortured forever.
Barney! Barney, won't you? Can you hear me? That's what I wanted his brain to say.
Tonight, we are taking a look at two episodes from season 2. They are The Last Car and A Choice of Dream. The Last Car, season 2, episode 19, originally aired on February the 23rd, 1986. This one was written by Michael McDowell, directed by John Strisik, and starring Begonia Plaza, Mary Carver, Louis Gus, and Scooter fucking Stevens as an annoying child who won an award for his performance here. This is a story of college student Stacy. She boards a train on her way home to Thanksgiving. There she finds herself confined in a car with 3 other passengers, and none of them like tunnels. What'd you think of this one, Mike?
At first, I was pretty darn bored with this episode, and then I actually went back and rewatched it. I think I like this one. I think I like this one quite a bit, actually. It doesn't really have a whole lot of explanation, and I don't think it really needs it. I think it just tells this odd story. You figure stuff out as you go along. Again, it's not super definitive, but yeah, I figure she's dead and on this train forever. So I was pretty okay with it. What do you think, Chris?
What the fuck was going on? What the fuck was happening in this episode? I get what was happening, but what? It's just on a train, and then
You got it.
And then, okay, she's on a train, and the train is traveling down the tracks. Maybe.
No, maybe about it. It's on the tracks.
Okay,
That's
trains.
on the tracks, yeah.
Trains traveling on the tracks. Cars.
Engine number 9.
People go in the cars. Train cars go on the tracks. train cars go down the tracks, train cars go into tunnel scares people. That's where you lose me. And then people become skeletons at the end, where you've also lost me. So I enjoyed it for how bizarre it was and for how little it thought it needed to explain itself. I appreciate that. I feel like it's just, and fuck you, audience. This is why landlines kill people, just because. It reminded me of and this is why landlines kill people episode. Probably because it was written by Michael McDowell.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty beloved episode of Tales from the Dark Side by the fans of the show, including myself. I saw this one when it first aired. I was 13 at the time. I was not a fan of the effects on display here. Our final shot to reveal that our characters are all dead when they're all skeletons there at the end. Given what Tom Savini has brought to this show, given what Ed French has brought to this show, given to what any of the other makeup artists have brought to this show, it was absolutely fucking unacceptable to have that final shot. But having said that, I love the rest of it. I love that I have no idea what's going on. Is this some pocket dimension they've fallen into? Did she just get on the wrong car and now she's traveling some railway through hell, or is it some railway through some darkened universe? I don't know. I don't care. I just know you don't want to go into the tunnel, because the tunnel not only scares people, it makes them catatonic, like they're somehow being actually punished, as if the punishment of being trapped in a train car with 3 other fucking humans isn't punishment enough.
Especially a child.
The tunnel. Like that little apple corpse head thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It reminded me of the "Hey, got a light" from Beetlejuice. The "Hey, got a light" guy in the fucking waiting room of Purgatory.
Trying to cut down
Trying
myself.
to cut down myself. That's what it reminded me of broadly. Yeah, the shrunken apple faces, as they would. Yeah, trying to think. Yeah, just I like the concept of the episode. If the intent is there is no explanation and it's just shit's just happening, perfect. If that's the intention, perfect. Then I, like yourself, Father Malone, enjoyed the episode. I was just wondering, did I miss something? That's what I was getting at. If I missed nothing, then you know what? Sucks to suck. You got on the wrong train, and sometimes you wander into a pocket dimension where you die. I don't know. Probably happens to a lot of people. Hasn't happened to me. But the people that it happens to, people just disappear all the time. And people literally go missing all the time. Here's an explanation. They're just on this train car to nowhere? ? It's never even said if the train car actually stopped.
Well, it does, because
I don't think
they
that.
pick her up, so
True.
they will potentially pick up others.
Theoretically, I guess.
And by then, you're so beaten down by the train that you're not even going to attempt to leave. You're just accepting that you're on that car. Can I just say that one of the reasons this resonated for me so heavily as a child and continues to this day is that I spent a lot of time riding on subway cars, and there's something inherently creepy about trains, particularly ones that run underground, or even commuter rails like above. Once you get into an area where there are no more lights, it becomes a freaky Twilight Zone-y experience. And I think they capture that a lot here. I don't think it's directed as well as it could be. The set is clearly a set. I don't know why they just didn't go fucking rent a train car. It's one location. All they need to do is flash some lights occasionally through the windows. Overall, like the tone of this one, like really hits home. This feels like just a really, like a great short story, just an impression of horror as opposed to a plot or a structure that sort of delivers some sort of deeper meaning.
You're right. It would work better. I think it would work even better as like a story, like a literary story, where you don't have to have this kind of hokey ending where it's like, don't know. Like
it's hamstrung by the visuals.
Yeah, 100. It's like I'm probably gonna misquote the title, but the yellow wallpaper. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be like, I don't think that would really work adapted wise into a thing. But I think as a literary piece of a literary work, it nails everything that you need. But the moment it's the thing like No Country for Old Men. The ending of that book works perfectly on the page. Tommy Lee Jones staring at the camera and reciting a monologue, not so much. And that's the same thing here. I wish I didn't have to watch this episode and that I could just read the short story that it's not based on, but the script that Michael McDowell wrote.
I was very glad to see him show up in this in his magical lunchbox, where no matter what you asked for, he had it in there, which I thought was cool. That was the moment where I was like, okay, yeah, whatever you ask for, he's going to have in there. And so I guess that's a good thing. Probably one of my favorite heads of the five families from The Godfather, that whole selling drugs to the colors. They have no soul anyway. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I dig that guy
we got this annoying kid running around who changes outfits from cowboy to army man.
all the time. Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, did that have any bearing on anything?
Not
It
that
was
I know
kind
of.
of, yeah, it's
Okay.
like the wishing. It's like that lunchbox. Like he can wear whatever he wants to wear.
Okay.
And as far as the old woman, I don't know what her thing is other than maybe infinite wool.
Can I also mention here, and this is just as someone who is a consumer and enjoyer of it, one does not eat hummus with a spoon.
Hey, you eat your hummus your way. I
No,
eat my
no,
hummus my
no.
way.
You do not eat hummus with the spoon. I don't eat spoonfuls of hummus. What is this?
Nom, 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 nom. Yeah.
I know. I like how she was like, crushed up chickpeas, and he just hands her this cup, and I was like, boy, the 80s were such a pastoral time when people had no idea what hummus was. This, yes, is hummus. Sure.
Sushi was pretty weird back then.
I mean,
Ooh.
hey, the raw fish, or as they say in Zodiac. Have you ever tried fish? Sushi? The urchin? The urchin?
Yep. Speaking of the Breakfast Club, there, which that moment where Judd was like, "Sushi? What the fuck is that?" Speaking of John Hughes movies, and maybe I'll cut this into the other thing, but I listened recently to an interview with Paul Dooley, who was saying he was offered 16 Candles straight out, and he was told by his agent it's a go, and they met your quote, and he read the script and he said, "I don't care, I don't like this, I don't want to do it, tell them double my quote." He said, and they came back and said, "Okay, they doubled, they'll meet that." He went, "Okay, well, triple it, get to the number where they understand that I don't want to do this movie." And they came back with some ridiculous number, and he was like, "Okay, fine, I'll just fucking do it." And what made me laugh is to think that he read that script and thought, they can't pay me. You can triple the amount I think I'm worth as an actor, and I will not do this thing, but I still will do this Tales from the Dark Side. How bad was that first draft of 16 Candles?
Even more racist.
Yeah, more rapey,
Yeah.
Yeah. Long Duck Dong was probably played by, is that 16 Candles, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was probably just played by Mickey Rooney. That would be, I mean,
straight from his appearance as an Italian in Night Gallery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Anything else about this one, gents? All right. Our next episode is A Choice of Dreams. Season 2, Episode 20, aired originally on February the 16th, 1986. No, that's not correct. Aired originally on March 1st, 1986, written by James Houghton from a story by Edward F. Shaver. Interestingly, James Houghton is the son of Buck Houghton, the original producer for The Twilight Zone. Directed by Gerald Kotz. This one stars Abe Vigoda, David Chandler, and Uncle June. Dominic Chianese. Ernest Dickerson's the DP on this one. This is the story of a brink of death mob boss Corelli. He's offered a chance at cheating death through science. They keep your brain alive and keep your dreams peaceful forever. But then again, this is Tales from the Dark Side. What'd you think, Chris?
Cunnilingus and psychiatry brought us to this. That's what I can think of. Anytime you get Abe Vigoda and then Dominic Chianese, we got The Godfather, we got The Sopranos, we got Barney Miller. Yeah, I think this episode, like so many other of these, what was it Joe Albertson? Is that his name? Jack Albertson. This reminded me of that episode with Bobby Darin, where it's, I'm going to come and do the thing and get away for good, and nobody will ever be able to punish me. And it's, hey, fucko, that's not how this works. And you'll get your just desserts. You may not realize it, but someone's going to long con you. And this is one of those long con episodes. We have the initial guy who says what everybody wishes they could say to a mobster, have fun in hell, asshole. And then we get the other guy who is much more disarming, but is effectively doing the same thing, is have fun in hell, asshole. I'm just not going to make it obvious. I love this setup. I love Abe Vigoda. Abe Vigoda's great. He's being particularly nasty and mean here, which I appreciate. I don't think it's the most original idea, though. That's probably the big thing I would hold against it. I feel like like I said, we've seen this before, but the performances are solid, and getting to see all the actors that we've already mentioned and fangirled over, I think, is reason enough to check out the episode.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I remember this episode when it was the protective suit that would keep you alive forever. And that was the punishment for the guy who had too much money. Yeah, so I'm sensing a theme here. When you have too much money or you're just corrupt or you have too much power, somebody's going to come in and sell you something to protect you or fulfill your dreams in some sort of way. Yeah, it's so tropey. But, to your point, the actors in this are pretty darn high caliber. It was weird how dismissive the doctor is also with the other guy who's is it Michelson, the guy with the card that comes in to sell him the stuff, because he's just as mean as the doctor is. But yeah, I wish I would have seen a little bit more of the torture stuff and some of the bad dreams that he has that are coming up, and the whole thing with the cop who is beating him. And that was right. The Dominic Chan is playing. Oh no, he's playing the father.
Yeah.
At first, I thought he was playing the cop that beat him and stuff. But yeah, it's like it felt like there should have been one more aspect to those dreams. So it'd be like maybe the cop shows up in the dreams, and then there's the ex-wife, and then there's the father, and just everybody's on his ass. Yeah, as far as we're going to torture you forever type of episode, I thought this one was pretty good.
Agreed. I really liked this one, mainly because of what y'all said, which is I've got Abe Vigoda here and just playing everything so naturally. Everyone is so good across the board. I do agree. I think this episode, had it begun with one of those nightmares fully played out,
there you go.
Give us the stakes right at the beginning, because that's what we're getting right at the end. I think that could have been good. I liked the little moments in between, the little human character moments. He's been diagnosed with cancer, and they're looking for this guy with the card, and somebody brings him a big stack of mail, and he's, forget the mail. What are you doing right now? It reminded me of Dennis Farina in Midnight Run. Sydney, calm yourself. Go sit down. Have a fucking sandwich. Just do something. Little common moments like that. And then we see a lot of deal with the devil episodes, and I maintain that those can always be innovated no matter how many times you want to tell us that story. The rich old prick story is running out of steam. And rich old prick, no matter what you dress it up as, because we've seen the mob boss story. We saw it twice. We just mentioned them on Night Gallery. We had a Mickey Rooney and we had a Bobby Darin. So that I'm glad that's going away, particularly the old school, but they were all dying off at time anyway. Although I miss a character collapsing and saying, don't just stand there, get me a bottle of scotch. There's no people yelling that anymore. I do think that, I don't know, I loved this ending when I was a kid. I don't necessarily need to hear that guy say welcome to hell at the end. Nail, meathead.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Yeah, and then that last oh no kind of thing. I'm like, oh yeah, all right, I've seen this before.
Hey, how come you never plugged me? I thought that was a nice casual conversation. That relationship between those two guys was really great. And the other thing about this sort of rich old prick thing is we can like those characters and maybe want them to get away with this, but what we have here is him killing his best friend, like after in a really tender moment that it really primed the pump for that fucking ending. I wish they had clued us in earlier to ram home how horrible it is going to be for him for eternity to experience those dreams, because he fucking deserves it more than most villains we've seen.
He's a real sack of shit. Abe Vigoda's a real sack of shit. I like that they paint him, I wouldn't say broadly evil. He's painted very specifically evil, and he does a lot of specifically evil things that I feel like the show's held back on. He just shoots a guy point blank in the head.
Oh, yeah.
Just like murders a dude. He's, hey, you get to be the boss now. Bang. Going out at the top, dickhead. Like, wow. This is, where you've been holding back. Tales from the Darkside last couple episodes. This is what I wanted. God, what was the guy from Ghostbusters? Who's your friend with the dry nose? The guy getting murdered by the teddy bear. I wanted more. Give me that. Tales from the Darkside. Give me Abe Vigoda shooting a guy point blank and then having his brain ripped out and just thrown in a jar.
Yeah, and if you need to take a break, give us the last car. Don't give us the fucking little girl replacement episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to have the characters fucking torn apart in the last sort of scene or banished to hell, but they don't necessarily need to be insulting from beginning to end. I'm not saying this one is in any way insulting. I like this one a lot. I recommend this one's out of hand, but not as good as we've been getting this season and preview.
Yeah, I will agree with that as well.
I'd be inclined to agree. I think this season's had more downs than, I wouldn't say more downs than ups, but it's had more downs than I was expecting from how consistent this show is.
I think we're batting 1,000. Is that something?
Wow.
Wow.
That means we hit every single ball right home, huh?
And that's not what I meant. I don't know baseball. All right. On the next episode of Midnight, we're going to be taking a look at the next 2 episodes from season 2. Those are Strange Love and The Unhappy Medium. Midnight Viewing is a proud member of Weirding Way Media Group. Our theme song was composed by HP with an assist by Donald Rubenstein. Until next time, what are you working on? Where can people find it, Chris Dashu?
You can find everything that I work on over at weirdingwaymedia.com, where this show and all the other things I work on can be found, other than the show Rankin' on Bond, which can be found at mine and Mike's respective Patreons, patreon.com/culturecast or patreon.com/projectionbooth. But more importantly, support Father Malone's Patreon over at patreon.com/Father Malone.
How about you, Mike?
What?
This one time, Kay, this one time you can ask me about my business. And I would tell you that everything that I do can be found over at weirdingwaymedia.com, other than that exception that Chris already talked about. And speaking of Patreon, why don't you go on over to Father Malone's Patreon, which helps support this show, helps make everything go. Father Malone is possibly working harder than I am because he puts out more shows than I do.
He's working harder than both of us.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, yeah,
you know what?
do it.
Yeah, they're very generous. If you do go to the Patreon, you get episodes early and commercial free and bonus content. And if money's tight, you can do us a solid by just giving us a 5-star review, subscribing, liking, sharing, telling somebody else to listen. Thanks for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight. I don't know. I wanted to scare them there.
Whoa.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.